RHOBH, Dorit Kemsley recounts son's heartbreaking medical scare. RHOBH star, Dorit Kemsley is recounting her son, Jagger's heartbreaking medical scare. She and her husband, PK Kemsley, are currently separated, which will be documented in the upcoming season. So what did the co-parents deal with concerning their son? Keep reading for more details. Dorit Kemsley recounts son's heartbreaking medical scare. This has been a traumatic few years for Dorit Kemsley and her family. They were the victims of a home invasion where she was held at gunpoint. The kids were in their bedrooms sleeping and her husband, PK Kemsley, was out of town. That left Dorit alone to handle it, and she suffered from PTSD. The robbers were never caught, and then, just a short time later, she was mugged again. She was shopping and had taken out $10,000 cash. Dorit was followed, and the money was stolen from her bag. Despite trying to make PK understand her struggles, he was more frustrated by her. They ended up parting ways after a very rough time. Some have claimed they were not living together longer than they stated. However, they have wanted to keep on a brave face for their kids, Jagger and Phoenix. This will be shown in Season 14 of RHOBH, which premieres on November 19th. That is when the true downfall of their marriage will be displayed for the world to see. As they prepare to watch that playback, Dorit and PK have been dealing with something far more serious. Their son Jagger, 10, was just hospitalized. As it turned out, he had a septic hip. According to Page 6, the fashion designer recounted the heartbreaking event in her Halloween post. Dressed as the Flintstones, she explained that Jagger had 2 surgeries in a week for a septic hip, aka septic arthritis. This can occur when germs get into the bloodstream and infect the joints. He then spent 2 weeks in the hospital as he recovered. Back together. Many people questioned over and over who Fred Flintstone was, and it was PK Kemsley. He was tagged in the family photo and even poked fun at the repetitive comment. PK needed a laugh as he has been with his family in the hospital. On October 15th, he shared this update about Jagger. Of course, viewers were worried about him as they had seen Jagger since he was a toddler. Now he's a little man. This is horrible, but fortunately, he is healing and was able to celebrate the best way possible. Dorit Kemsley's voice trembled as she recounted the details of the harrowing experience. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star sat in her living room, surrounded by plush furniture and the glimmer of soft candlelight, as she prepared to share a story that had shaken her family to its core. For a woman known for her poise and glamour, the vulnerability she displayed was striking. "I still get chills thinking about it," Dorit began, clutching a steaming cup of tea. "One minute, everything was fine. The next, our lives turned upside down. It all started on what seemed like an ordinary weekday morning. Dorit and her husband PK were bustling around their Beverly Hills home, juggling their usual responsibilities. Their youngest son, Phoenix, had been his usual energetic self, running around the house with the boundless enthusiasm only a child can muster. He'd been completely fine the night before, Dorit said, her eyes glistening with tears. There were no signs, no warnings. It's like it came out of nowhere. Phoenix had woken up complaining of a stomachache. At first, Dorit and PK chalked it up to something minor. Perhaps he'd eaten something that didn't agree with him or was simply overtired from a busy weekend. But as the hours passed, Phoenix's condition worsened. His normally rosy cheeks turned pale, and his energy dwindled alarmingly fast. By mid-morning, he was lying on the couch, barely responding to us. Dorit recalled, her voice breaking. "I kept saying to PK, this isn't normal. Something's not right." They decided to call their pediatrician, who advised them to bring Phoenix in immediately. Dorit and PK hurriedly packed a bag and drove to the doctor's office, Dorit's hands shaking as she held her son close. "The drive felt like an eternity," Dorit said. "I kept looking at him in the rearview mirror, hoping to see some sign that he was okay. But he just looked so small." At the pediatrician's office, the gravity of the situation became clear. Phoenix's symptoms were severe enough that the doctor recommended they go directly to the emergency room. Dorit's heart sank as she and PK rushed to Cedars-Sinai, their worry escalating with every passing minute. "It's every parent's worst nightmare," Dorit said, her voice heavy with emotion. "You feel so helpless, so scared." At the hospital, a team of doctors and nurses quickly took over, running tests and administering treatments. Dorit described the surreal blur of those hours. The steady beep of monitors, the hushed tones of medical staff, and the cold sterility of the hospital room. She and PK took turns sitting by Phoenix's bedside, holding his tiny hand and whispering words of comfort. "I couldn't stop praying," Dorit admitted. "I'm not an overly religious person, but in that moment, all I could do was pray for him to be okay." The diagnosis, when it finally came, was both a relief and a shock. Phoenix had developed a severe case of intussusception, a rare condition where part of the intestine slides into an adjacent part, causing a blockage. It's a potentially life-threatening issue if not treated promptly, but the doctors assured Dorit and PK that they had caught it in time. Hearing the word life-threatening in relation to your child is something no parent ever wants to experience, Dorit said, her voice quivering. But at the same time, we were so grateful to the doctors for identifying it quickly. Phoenix underwent a non-surgical procedure to correct the issue, and thankfully it was successful. After a tense 24 hours in the hospital, he began to show signs of improvement. Dorit and PK stayed by his side, refusing to leave until they were certain he was out of danger. When he finally smiled again, "I just broke down," Dorit said, a small smile breaking through her tears. It was the most beautiful sight. In the days that followed, the family returned home, shaken but deeply thankful. Dorit reflected on the experience as a profound wake-up call, one that reminded her of what truly matters in life. "It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, especially in our world," she said, gesturing to the opulent surroundings of her home. "But none of this means anything without the health and happiness of our children." Dorit also spoke about the overwhelming support she received from her RHOBH castmates during the ordeal. Friends like Kyle Richards and Erica Jane were among the first to reach out, offering words of encouragement and checking in regularly. "Kyle sent over this beautiful care package for Phoenix," Dorit said, her face lighting up briefly. "And Erica called every day just to see how we were holding up. It meant so much to us." Now, weeks later, Phoenix is back to his energetic self, running around the house and filling it with laughter once again. But the memory of that terrifying day lingers, serving as a stark reminder of life's fragility. "We're holding him a little tighter these days," Dorit admitted, her voice soft. "Every moment feels more precious now." As she wrapped up her story, Dorit shared a heartfelt message for other parents. "Trust your instincts," she said. "If you feel like something's not right, don't hesitate. It's better to be overly cautious than to regret not acting sooner. And never take a single moment with your children for granted." Dorit's recounting of Phoenix's medical scare was not only a testament to her strength as a mother, but also a poignant reminder of the resilience and love that define her family. For all the glitz and drama of RHOBH, moments like these reveal the deeply human side of its stars, reminding viewers that even amidst the luxury and spectacle, they face the same fears and challenges as anyone else.